from a young woman named Noor Abdallah at the University of Michigan, Flint, class of 2018. It was graduation day, and Noor stood in front of a microphone during her commencement speech and said, quote, "I go to class and I know that I'm safe in so many ways. Not only safe from airstrikes, but I'm safe to speak my mind whenever I feel it necessary. I'm safe to converse with my professors." Whoa. Hello. Is it gonna?
No, that's good.
Okay. I'm safe to converse with my professors and have passionate talks about things that I love, and I'm safe to dream big. But now, here we are in 2025, 7 years later, and Noor Abdullah is not safe. Noor is now 8 months pregnant, and 2 weeks ago, she and her husband, Mahmoud Khalil, were confronted by a gang of men who refused to identify themselves. They handcuffed Mahmoud. And took him away, detained him, and disappeared him, a term I heard Senator Chris Murphy discuss in his thoughts on Mahmoud Khalil's detention. Mahmoud had committed no crime. He's a legal permanent resident of the United States with his government-issued green card, and a holder of a green card has virtually all the same rights as an actual citizen, except for the right to vote. His crime? Speaking out as an activist for Palestine. But right here in Connecticut, during the amazing and inspirational encampments and protests that occurred last spring, several university students were arrested. 40 from Yale, 25 from UConn, and their crime, freedom of speech. Currently, all of us here today are affected by the current U.S. administration's attempt to silence us, erase freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of the press, freedom of assembly and petition, and to cause fear and confusion within our most vulnerable communities and immigrants. Hate crimes have increased. Islamophobia and anti-Semitism have increased. Recently, 2 young twin sisters, brand new to this country, enrolled in a school in Waterbury, were physically attacked in school by 12-year-old children due to their religion. It's a hate crime. We know that students who are non-U.S. born residents, people waiting for their immigration paperwork to go through, basically anyone who's deemed a threat to the current administration, regardless of if it's true, can become a target. Our Constitution in the U.S. is in crisis and our government agencies are being stripped. This brings me back to our faiths. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, declared, "Whoever witnesses something evil, let him change it with his hand, and if he is unable, then with his tongue, and if he is unable, then with his heart." But that is the weakest of faith. Our religion, indeed all faiths of justice, do not permit the luxury of silence. When the Constitution faces crisis, when our government is a war machine, an empire for the elite, when government institutions are being dismantled, when our private information is being shared, Social Security is threatened, our education in our most vulnerable communities are threatened, silence is complicity. I stand before you today, not just as an activist, but as a believer answering a divine call. Our faiths demand more than our prayers. It demands action and justice. This attack on lawful immigrant community, our freedom of speech, religion, press, assembly, they're not political issues. They're moral imperatives. When we help stop oppression from the oppressor from oppressing, we fulfill our highest calling. When we stand for those being silenced, we embody our principles of faith. My journey from a fairly passive citizen to activism wasn't planned. It started with my involvement in the local phone banking group in Connecticut, calling on Congress to demand a ceasefire in Gaza. It was here that I began to learn and understand the importance of community education and staying in contact with our elected officials.
The time is up, sister.
Oh.
Thank you very much.